Yeah, so this will be fun. Always love watching DocHoliday stream, or he just started streaming again, so looking forward to this game. I don't know who Nico is though.
Yeah, I know Doc. He's my teammate this season and crushed me many times last season. But Nico, no, not a lot of information on him. So this is going to be going into this a little bit blind as far as the Protoss. Start this game up, and the first map for week 1 was Sylphide.
Sylphid, a new ASL map. Very interesting map. Initially, when I saw this map, I was like, okay, this is like a Terran. This is a dream map for Terran. You can get Insta 4 base, Insta 5 base. But it's actually a pretty strong Protoss map too. So I'll be interested to see what Nico pulls out on here. And I guess the Beast Nico, I guess that's the team he's on. But DocHoliday not repping Dragon though.
Yeah, it's not quite dedicated yet, man. That's the problem. So, yeah, I mean, when I first saw Sylphide and looked at the kind of analysis of it, I thought it was going to be Zerg favored. Do you think that still stands, or do you think it's changing a little bit?
I'm trying to pull up the map. How do I?
It's
Am I crazy?
You go to
I know
the
you can pull up the
ally
map.
channel, reveal entire map.
There it is. Okay. Zerg favored versus Protoss? I think that's true because Zerg has the advantage in the early game versus Protoss, and because it's a 3-player map, they'll just insta-take the other main, and then Protoss, if it ever goes split map, he won't have a main to take. He'll just flat out never have as many bases as Zerg. So definitely I think it's favored for Zerg on this map. And we actually have a 9 pull from DocHoliday here. Really going to turn on the aggression early on.
Doc last season 9 pooled a ton versus Protosses. It's really strong against some of those Protosses who aren't as familiar, especially on this map, the Sylphide. The Wallen can be a little bit trickier, and this being a new map, a lot of times players won't have that as down as much as it would be on a map like Fighting Spirit. So 9 pool, a strong choice here, I think, from Doc.
Yeah, and this is not a map in the ladder pool, so they're not going to have a lot of practice on this map. And I'm already looking at the wall. I'm pretty sure you can fit a gate there, but can you actually fit Lings or Zealots over top of the gate? I'm not sure because, to be honest, I've played this map maybe twice, and I've never played Protoss on this map.
I actually don't know for this position. Not quite sure. I think it might be a 2 Zealot wall. I need 2 Zealots to fit that in.
And I like what Nico's doing right here. He has identified that it is a 9 pool, and when you go a build like this, some people try to skip the cannons and go Nexus before getting the cannons. If you can get the Nexus up, your econ just goes absolutely bananas, but you can't do that versus a 9 pool. So this opener from Nico is great, and I like the gateway placement too. Oh, and then we got even that probe attack onto the forge, really going to block any Lings from coming in. So I'm really liking this from Nico so far.
Yeah, 2 cannons will be up in time and attacking his probe. Nicely defended. So we'll delay his Nexus a bit, but it's better to be safe than sorry in these type of positions.
Yeah, exactly. And there goes the Nexus for Nico. It is just going to be pretty standard Protoss opener. And we've got DocHoliday. I'm watching his money. Why are we floating so much money, DocHoliday? The game just started.
What's he doing?
Giving DocHoliday a little something because we know each other. But he is taking his 3rd base right now. And he'll probably just go into the standard layer timing, go, Scourge, and then go Hydras. But this is actually an interesting base he took because there's 2 ways for Protoss to attack. They can attack from underneath or they can attack from the top. I'm confused why, for example, he didn't take the top natural, because then there's only one way in.
Definitely seems like that third's pretty exposed. That's interesting. It's kind of weird, like, it's not really a high ground, but these walls mess with your pathing a little bit. But it is definitely very hittable.
Yeah, and as soon as I see this, if I'm just speccing from Protoss point of view, when a Zerg takes this base, they're like almost always hyper aggressive with Hydras. Maybe not hyper aggressive like 3-hatch, but you can be pretty confident that this is going to be a 5-hatch attack. It's not going to be passive Zerg, I don't think. So I think that's what Nico needs to plan for. Maybe just go straight Citadel instead of going for Corsair, because it really looks like Doc is setting up for that kind of follow-up.
He's mining from his second gas at a pretty fast time. We'll see if he built a second gate. Okay, no. He is going for Stargate, but that's super late. If your build's optimal, you want to get your Stargate between, 4:15 to 4:30, typically. He did get the second cannon, so it's off a little bit, but still, it's a very late Stargate. So that means he's likely not going to be able to get any Overlord kills. He's going to have to be careful to not lose that Corsair to Scourge.
Yeah, and now because of the Sair's late, you're saying he could lose it to the Scourge. That's very true. By the time the Sair gets out, Scourge are already going to be up. And Protoss versus Zerg, it's difficult for Protoss in the early game because Zerg has so many options. They can go Mass Ling, they can go Mass Hydra. He's already lost his probe. He doesn't really know what DocHoliday is doing. And if you don't have any intel on what Zerg's doing, you can just straight up lose to one of the several all-ins they plan.
Yes, Doc likes being active with his Lings. We'll see how many, whether he goes into a Hydra attack. He's adding on his 4th hatch. We'll see if he gets a 5th and then goes into 5-hatch Hydra play. A lot of times we do like to see him stay on Lings for a bit longer, see what he can get done with those, and then get into the Ling Lurker style.
Yeah, and I'm trying to pay attention to his Nat gas or his 3rd gas to see when he's going to take it, because if he was going to be aggressive with these Hydras, he's going to have to start mining gas pretty soon. Sure, Hydras don't cost the most gas, but he's going to get Ranger speed. And then Hydras add up really quickly if you're only 1 gas, but I still don't see it. And now that I talked about it, I think he's going to be aggressive. Now that I'm watching this build unfold, this feels like we're going to be passive.
Yeah, the 5th hatch is up, and he's starting Hydralisk movement. So it doesn't look like he's going to be, yeah, I think you're right. He's going to be passive with this a bit, but he might go for a little bit more of a faster expansion. He's sending his Scourge in here to scout, and that first Corsair is just going to pop now, so he could lose that right away. Nico needs to be on top of his micro.
Yeah, it's actually the Corsairs are split. One's at the natural, and now we have just one Sair. Oh, DocHoliday didn't check. Kind of just sat there, but that was an open Corsair that he could have taken. But yeah, I'm still just watching this build unfold from DocHoliday. We still have, he's got a lot of drones. His econ is going really strong. We don't have any Hydras out yet. We still don't have the second gas. I'm just waiting for what is he going to do? I'm checking the Hydra den. We have speed going. Means it's not going to be Ling Lurker. I don't know. I'm confused at this point, but I like Nico's build. I think he's just going to build a bunch of gateways right now and just transition into that Zealot Templar timing that we see a lot of Protosses do.
Yeah, Nico, he was supply blocked for a bit there, so that's not great. And he's moving out with his Zlot. He's got 8 here. This is actually a pretty late timing for these Zealots. Typically, you want to have 6 or 7 move out around 7:30 with speed, and these still don't have speed yet. So Doc will be just fine with this. He'll have enough Hydras and Sunken Colonies that I don't think these Zealots will get anything done. If these Zealots were earlier and on time, there might have been a window, but there's enough here at this 3rd, and there will be to hold this off.
Yeah, but even if this doesn't kill DocHoliday, it will force out units. DocHoliday has had no pressure the whole game. So forcing out Hydras now is actually kind of critical. Look at his gas. He can't even spend it. He's broke on it. But here come the Zealots. They actually have +1. They're pretty damn strong. There's not much here. Nico's going in for the kill, at least on this 3rd base.
He's moving up his Hydras from the natural. On top of the Zealots are getting bugged out by the drones. It's a nice job there. But they're still pretty strong. We'll see. He needs to target the drones here. The real issue, though, is losing all these Zealots is not good for Nico.
Yeah, now the map control for Nico is completely gone, and I'm looking at what he has in his main. We actually don't have very many gateways. He can't replenish his army that well. And now DocHoliday went unpunished for those 8 minutes. He has a good drone count across all of his bases, and now he can start pumping out those Hydras. And now Nico's in a real dangerous spot because we have 3 zealots and 2 cannons versus about 15 hydras right now.
Yeah, I don't think Storm has even been started, and there's just mana for 1 Storm there, so Doc only has to dodge that one. Or was Storm researched? I forget. I don't think so.
It probably...
Okay.
No? It might be. But yeah, I didn't see it either. It might have not been finished. He might have been focusing on that attack and forgot to click it. But the hydras are here, and they're going to pressure onto this gateway. And if he can get this forge, +2 is actually a really important upgrade for Zerg. For Protoss, I mean.
Okay, nice Storm there. Doc needs to be careful. But he's just picking off some zealots, and now we can start chipping away at some buildings. Ooh, nice Storm there. Gonna pick off the last of those hydras. But the reinforcements are Doc. This is 5-hatch hydra. There's a lot streaming across the map. Now he's moving into lings. Gonna get on top of these cannons. There's no mana for Storm. Needs to morph that to an Archon really quickly. But there's nothing here for Nico.
Yeah, there's nothing. We have 6 lings on the Archon. The Archon's probably going to die. It's going down. It's down. Now we have literally no ground. We have 1 cannon that's going to die. As DocHoliday just busted through here, he's got 10 more hydras reinforcing. I just don't think Nico's going to be able to hold it. We've got 3 zealots queued in every single gate right now.
Yeah, Nico's macro has not been great. Queuing those extra units means there's too much money and not enough gates. So DocHoliday is going to get in here, definitely deny the +2, and I think he's going to close out this game.
Yeah, I think Doc has done it. Even if Nico somehow stabilizes, we've lost our entire probe line at the natural, and Doc has gone unpunished the whole game. Nico's trying to do something with these Sears, but they're AFK in the main, and we're just bleeding zealots now. Oh, yeah, I think DocHoliday just
nice
got too
Storm,
much. Yeah, the Storm is sick, man. Like, oh my
Another
God,
one.
really massacring everything. It's just too bad there's no support with them.
Oh, he morphs to Archon at the last second. Nice save. But too little too late. Here's the thing is that this game, Nico built so many Sears, but wasn't active with them. You really need to be more active than he just kind of waited till he got 7, and then he didn't do anything with them before that. So that's a big investment from Nico that did nothing. And then when you're up against 5-hatch Hydra, you got to make sure that your storms are on time, and you can't just lose all your zealots like that. That's a big mistake. For only getting a couple of drones, that means you don't have anything to defend to follow up Hydra push.
Yeah, he used his Sears with his Zealot attack, but it didn't get anything done. I can't remember exactly what happened, but all these Sears are going down now, and now we just have, you know, not that many Hydras, but it's enough to decimate the natural, I think. We've only got 3 Zealots and a DT. Oh, well, we're kind of not paying attention here. This little army might get staved off. I don't know. Somehow DocHoliday is supply blocked, and now we're bleeding Hydras. Sure, we're coming in, you know, with not that many Zealots, but they are holding the line so far. Maybe there's just too much Doc.
Yeah, Doc sent a reinforcing round of Overlords, and they all went up here, and there was an Archon and some Sears out, and he lost about 5 or 6 Overlords there. So that's really unfortunate. If this game was closer, that could have turned the tide of the game, but unfortunately for Nico, he can only live on Protoss on one base for so long. He's going to try to make it work. I mean, you can camp on one base for a ridiculous amount of time with his choke with storms.
Yeah, his saving grace will, if he can get out like tons of Templars and just have those 6 storms that we've been seeing. But DocHoliday, now that he's started producing Hydras, he's kind of just been attacking nonstop, and now he's sniped the Nexus. I feel like the assault is just going to keep coming. As I say that, I see a drone production from DocHoliday at the 3rd base. I mean, I feel like he's got to go kill him, because once you let Protoss get up tons of Templar, you know, it's so hard to break. And I know Nico doesn't have a sick econ, but it's always tilting where you have like the player dead and then you kind of let them back into the game.
Okay, Doc just rallied drones, and they were almost at the base of Nico. They were at that 3rd plateau. So, close there, and almost lost a ton of more Overlords as well. I was thinking maybe he's going for a drop, but just a bad rally. And yeah, so many drones just got produced.
Yeah, look how many he made. He made like 15 drones. Now we have 10 lurkers in production. That's good. That's gonna be perfect, because No, actually, Nico does have a robotics. I'm actually surprised through all that chaos, he actually does have an observer coming out.
I think Doc is going to go for a drop here. Doc, he likes using his drops, and they're a really quick way to end a Protoss. We'll see. Might just go for a frontal attack because he's so far ahead, but yeah, it looks like he's just going to move across the map, but drop would be a good call here.
Yeah, drops would be amazing, but we have Hive so fast. I actually don't know if he even has it, but in this scenario, I don't think it matters. We've got more lurkers than Protoss has zealots.
Yeah.
And all we really need is any type of support in front of the lurkers. If we have any support where the zealots can't get on top of them, Doc's just going to absolutely maul this army.
Yeah, you can't fight lurkers without goons, and he's got a couple storms here. So, ooh, actually a nice preemptive storm there.
Yeah, and we have like 6 Templar here, so they can storm for days. But I don't know, now the lurker's going to get spread out, and it's going to be near impossible to stop all this.
Where's the observer? Wait.
Actually, we didn't have an observer. He just has the observatory. He's just now building it. It's about to come up. But now we've got a lurker contained with no ranged goons. Oh my gosh, there's so many lurkers.
Actually, nice storm there. Did I get all of them? Oh, close.
Are these zealots going to clean them up, actually? They're all low. What is going on?
DocHoliday, these attacks are just kind of... I mean, that many lurkers. I think he just waited. Camped a little bit.
Yeah, you really need to wait for some support to put in front of lurkers. Well, now the real army's coming from DocHoliday. We've got a bunch of Hydras being rallied here. And now the zealots are all really weak from those lurker shots.
And there's only one storm here. Okay, that goes down on a nice clump of Hydras, but we've got a Hydra flank of sorts gonna catch that Templar out in the middle of the map.
Nico's actually doing a damn good job of surviving at this point. He's down, 2 bases for the past few minutes. Somehow he's alive, but DocHoliday, another 10 lurkers coming out from him. Absolutely crazy econ going down for him. But yeah, he needs to just consolidate his army. Kind of just bleeds every single time.
And, Nico with those storms, so cost effective here, but he really needs to get some goons out if he's going to have any hope of fighting those lurkers long term.
Yeah, I'm looking at his main. We're like dried up in the main. We have like not very many probes. I don't even see the cybernetics core spinning. I think this might be the ending blow to Nico. I thought there were going to be sooner ending blows, but I can't imagine him getting out now. We don't have any storms. We just got pure Zealot Archon. How do you ever engage a lurker field like this? But he's going for it.
Yeah, this is going to get ugly fast. Those Zealots, okay, a couple more shots and they're all gone. He's going to clean it up though, because Archons are pretty good. He lost all of his Zealots.
Yeah, Archon's pretty beast, but now our whole army got wiped except for those Archons, so I'm trying to see what else does DocHoliday have. He's got so many Hydras at his Nat. He's got so many Hydras at his third. Putting down even more macro hatches. And holy moly, he has 3 hatcheries going down at the top middle, and we've got 2 more going down in the main. We're going full July Zerg macro style right here.
Yeah, actually I'm surprised Doc didn't expand earlier, like when he's just in this much of a lead. But just, when you're producing 10 lurkers at a time, he's going to be fine. So, finally we have the full army of Doc. We've got the Overlords coming up to snipe the Obs. And that's what was missing before. He needs a couple Hydras and you pick off Hobbs. Protoss can't make an infinity amount of observers to attack the lurkers. So now he's going to be absolutely fine to charge in with his lurkers. He has a 40 army supply lead. Now it's 50. So Doc doing a pretty good job macroing, even on 3 bases for a long time.
Yeah, DocHoliday just setting up his army. If Nico had vision of what was going on, I can just imagine these storms going down, killing everything. DocHoliday's so grouped up now, but we don't have vision. Oh my god. I can't wait for these storms, because if DocHoliday gets bottled up here, we have 4 Templar here, and they have energy. They almost have double storm, some of them. Oh man, this is gross. Another lurker contained.
Okay, nice storm there at the bottom. Doesn't get the lurkers though. Loses his Archons. Yeah. Good storm. Doc just piecemealing his army in here. Okay. Moves in like half a control group at a time. And here we go. Here's the final push. The lurkers coming in, getting on top of the cannons. There's no obs. There's no storms. Oh, there's one storm there on the lurkers. It's a nice one. But finally, Doc pushing through.
Yeah, the storms are massive. It's just we don't have any support for them. Just Nico doesn't have the econ, and that's gonna be GG.
Well done, guys. That was Nico hanging in there, fighting it out, and good job, Doc, as well.
Yeah, DocHoliday with the beast macro. What a god. Wish he was here in the chat though.
I know. I was hoping he would, but that's what happened. Just realized that I've been getting double alerts whenever somebody subscribe or follows. So let me see. Can I fix that? During? I think I can. Okay, sorry guys, you'll have to deal with the double thing. I don't think I can fix that. Or can I? Oh yeah, I can. Never mind. What am I doing? Yeah, cool. Okay, so now there should only be one. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna get into Beast Nico Game 2 here. Just create it quick. This is going to be on Fighting Spirit. Back to the standard maps after that. I mean, Soulflight, honestly, I hope I don't have to play Zerg on it. I definitely am going to be going Proxy 9-9 if I have to.
Yeah, it looks like a difficult Protoss for Zerg map.
Okay, can you leave Fabian? Thank you. There we go. Alright, starting into game number 2. And Fighting Spirit, if I was Nico, I'd be a lot more comfortable here, like I just said. So we'll see what he wants to go with. If he wants to go for the Sarah style or going for the Citadel style, which, you know, I think at this level, the Citadel style and maybe delaying the Sarahs is going to be a little bit stronger against Zergs. Although Doc's a really strong Zerg, he's played against both. But there's some situations where Citadel is just totally overpowered. Not overpowered, of course, but against some Zergs, it can look easy.
Yeah, +1 Zealots, really strong, especially if you just know that Zerg's going Hydras, like you have intuition or you scouted them out well, and then Zerg doesn't know you're going Citadel, can really catch Zerg off guard. And in the last game, we were talking about how Nico hit a little bit late with his Zealots. If he had attacked like 30 seconds earlier, DocHoliday had nothing. He had one sunken at each base, potentially could have just won with his initial Zealot attack. But we actually have a pylon going down in the main for Beast Nico. That means we got a 1 base going down.
Ooh, will we get some of that 1 base Reaver action? It is the Shoop special. We'll see. I hope so. 1 base Reaver is so much fun against Zerg.
Yeah, because Zergs, by default, just expect you to expand. If you throw in 1 base builds like 1 base Reaver and they don't have experience versus it, or even if they have experience versus it, Reavers deal so much damage. And if there's ever a great Reaver shot, it can just snowball the game so hard. Dealing with the shuttle is nearly impossible to actually kill it with Hydras. So, I hope he pulls out the Reaver build also. And there's the gas. It could definitely be 1 base Reaver.
Let's see what Doc's reaction is. Now, this is going to be cross-map. So it means that pressure isn't going to be quite as good for Nico because he has a lot more travel distance. So things are going to get there not quite as fast, but definitely can still make something work. But I'm curious to see what Nico's going to go with, how many Zealots he produces and whatnot.
Yeah, it is good for Zerg to delay the push as long as possible, but it's also kind of bad for DocHoliday in this situation because he still has no idea that this is a one base, and you know he might, if he leaves this drone top right and doubles expands before gas, he's dead. Oh my gosh, even gets the drone with the probe.
Nice. It's gonna tilt Doc so much. Delay that delayed hatchery. Yeah, he's had.
Yeah, look. Yeah, look, DocHoliday, like I said, if he leaves that drone top right, he just assumes this guy's expanding and he's going to go top left and be like, uh-oh, he's not. And now, look, we don't even have gas yet. And Nico's going to put down his tech building any moment now.
And the probes are coming off the line for Nico to block. The Zealot's zoned out a little bit, though. This is weird. Okay. Gets the angle at the last second. Or does he? Okay, lets him in. That's not great. But there is a robotics. See, Doc's going to... This build only works if you can get the ram pulled off. After that, there's not much you can do. And by the way, Doc, there's several Protosses who will be unnamed, but who like utilizing this build on our team. So he's played against this a decent amount, I guarantee. And Nico is losing probes here. This is so bad. This couldn't have been a worse start for him in this for this build.
Yeah, this scout from DocHoliday was absolutely crucial, but to get 5 or 6 probes there. Yeah, I guess he has played against it since we're calling out the build exactly as it is. And now he's not going to be caught off guard. You know, potentially without getting in there, it could have been, you know, mass speed zealot. It could have been mass goons. It could have been Reaver. But now he knows exactly what's going on. He'll just go Hydras with Burrow's nice because you can catch the shuttle off guard. And then that's kind of game over if you can catch that.
I almost don't want to cast this map because it's getting more Zerg players the knowledge about one base Reaver. Whereas before it was kind of this exotic thing you keep hidden and pull it out and just surprise someone with. But now it's getting too meta now. It's the problem for CPL.
Yeah, I had not seen one base Reaver in forever until Beast used it in that NA versus EU matchup. So,
right,
yeah. We're actually, as a Terran player, I'm even seeing one base Reaver versus Terran lately. If people have watched KSL or ASL, it's actually a somewhat common build these days. You can't just say, oh, he one base teched, it's DT. Now you actually have to worry about, is it Reaver? Because and Reavers come fast, like 530. If you have one tanker just vultures versus Reaver, you're dead.
Yeah, man. Reavers, they're a resurgence of popularity, which is awesome, so... Good unit, but although it's interesting because a lot of times at these lower levels, Protoss players don't quite have the micro to pull it off. So it's definitely something that I think we'll see more at the pro levels, but it's really cool to see it being used in CPL, even though it's a tough build to pull off because the game really comes down to your Reaver micro, and if you don't have good micro, then you can just lose.
Yeah, exactly. If you have godly shuttle micro, you will never lose the Reaver, and it will never die, and it will just deal so much damage. But if you don't have great micro, you can easily just run over a ball of Hydras, and boom, there goes your whole build. Like right now, he almost ran over a group of Hydras.
Yeah, this is really awkward for Nico. He wants to be cross-map with this right now and have the Goon. It's usually 4 Zealots into Goon. So that part is right. The Goon is late though. I typically want to be getting a Citadel as well. See if that goes down.
Yeah, I think Nico needs to send this out. He shot the Hydras once. The Hydras... You got to get into the mindset of the Zerg player. Zerg saw you attack one time with the Reaver. They know it's there. So if you send it out now, it's not like they're going to bust you thinking, oh, he moved it out. So I really would like Nico to get out on the map, but he's being quite passive right now. And actually, DocHoliday sent his units back, so that's very smart of him.
Yeah, the thing is also is that Nico has no information on where the third is for Doc.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about top right. He just assumes probably that this is just a Hydra build with no third base. And actually, we even have a Spire going down for DocHoliday, and we have a one base Reaver into 3-gate Goon, actually. Now, actually, this is going to be pretty good versus what DocHoliday is doing because he won't have critical mass of mutas, and Dragoons actually do very well versus mutas if you have enough of them.
Right, and the thing, would like to see Nico get a forge though and get some cannons up because mutas are a very common response to this, so that's something you need to be aware of, and probably Archons too as well. Now this is really bugging me that Nico is camping with these units here. The longer the game goes on, the more Zerg will get and the more comfortable the Zerg will be. Right now, Nico, if he attacked, he'd be in a great spot to get some massive kills. Like if he went to the top right now, this would be a great attack for Nico, but he's just camping.
Yeah, but he's got no vision like you pointed out earlier. He doesn't know about top right. He really doesn't know anything about this game. His probe, sure, it denied the Nat. But since then, we have no clue what Zerg's doing the whole game. Now is actually a great opportunity for Nico to attack. Well, actually, no, it's not because mutas are coming out just now. But if he had attacked when you were talking about attacking, that would have been amazing because we have 5 Hydras for defense.
And the thing is that there are a decent amount of goons, so Doc can't quite engage this army, so we will have to go cross map and fight Nico. And if Nico gets some cannons up there and saves the goons, then it could be okay. He needs to not lose that shuttle though and drop these Reavers in decent positions. So here we go. There's no defenses up. He was getting his additional hatchery. So it's actually, I think it's going to be a good position for Nico. He needs to start getting the Reaver shots on now though.
Yeah, what is this shuttle doing?
Oh no.
It's already half dead. It's gonna die.
At the last second gets those two Reavers off. That's important, but still, we're not in a great spot. But Doc is losing all his mutas here to these goons. This is not a great control from Doc. He's gonna lose all his mutas to this.
Yeah, and DocHoliday lost that extra hatchery he was building. He even has a hatchery at top right, so he has a bunch of money into buildings that are not helping him here. He really needs a bunch of units. And now we have 2 Reavers, doesn't even have a shuttle, but doesn't matter because the goon support is actually quite strong. And there's 4 mutas to defend these 8 goons.
This is so great. This makes me so happy to see because Zerg's just crumbling like this is awesome. And now there's Reaver shots on the drones as well. That's going to be disgusting. Drones splitting up, but still.
I think this is over. Like, DocHoliday's lost almost all of his drones. We have goons left over.
Ooh, nice Reaver shot there.
Sure, Nico's on 1 base, but I've seen maybe 1 Dragoon die. Like, it's just getting up to that critical mass of units where you just can't kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the supplies, 56 to 20. This game's done.
Yeah, so Doc is moving cross map with his Mutalisks and Lings, but there's actually a decent amount of goons. Nico has been smartly rallying the last 2 rounds into the main because he knows if he defends that, he's good. So, yeah, it looks like Nico gonna hold on here in the main. Just doesn't want to lose too many probes to those. Looks like he won't. Okay. So nicely done there. Now he's cleaning out the main. He needs to start scouting for the 3rd position, because he still doesn't have anything. I'd really like to see him send out a probe to do some simultaneous scouting. Oh no, this Reaver is walking. There's Mutalisks right next to it. This is so close.
Yeah, but the mutas don't see it. This is actually hilarious. He can just walk it up the whole way. He might. I mean, there's nothing really to kill it. But now look how many Dragoons Nico has. He's got 7 in his main. He's got like 8 at bottom right. There's just so many in DocHoliday. He's got nothing. We don't even have a spawning pool. We can't even build Sunkens.
Yeah, that Reaver has to walk a million miles up here, and it's going to take
Look
a
at
year.
the kills. They're heroes. 15 kills and 9 kills. Those were like all drones.
Yeah, that's sick. And he kept both those alive. It looked really sketchy for a second if he was going to lose them to the Mutalisk on the shuttle. So it's a different game. But now the Mutalisks are getting into the probe line. There is enough goons here, so we'll shut that down. But I would like to see Nico think about expanding eventually.
Yeah, he's got the money to expand, but does it even matter at this point? He's got the shuttle finally with the Reaver. He still doesn't know about top right. Why are we going bottom left? I guess he assumes it bottom left.
I mean, that would make the most sense to be at 6 o'clock, but it's why you really need to be scouting with a probe even before, because if you go to the wrong position with an attack like this that's so timing important, it's going to waste a ton of time that you need for your attack. So being a little bit more active with the probe would help this build out a ton. But as it is, Nico, I think he's going to close this out. He just has to micro well here. It's Goons versus Lings, that's not great, but he needs to drop the Reavers to get the shots off. And there we go. Lings are popping
there's
open.
just not enough. There's just not enough Lings and Mutas. They're trying to get Sunkens down, but they're not even going to get up. And I can't imagine DocHoliday staying in here much longer.
Reavers at the mineral line. It's so funny because Doc saw this, and his reaction was to go straight into Mutalisks, but really wasn't a great reaction. I'm trying to think of what he should have done differently, but in most of the games I've played, when a Zerg gets a scout in like that, then it's usually bad news for that push. So a little bit interested in that.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, that last Reaver shot got like 10 drones. Yeah, I didn't really like the attack he did. Why did he attack with like 5 Hydras up that ramp? I mean, he only lost 2, so it wasn't a big thing, but like he rushed speed to attack. I was confused by that. Maybe like he needed burrow or something. Sure, maybe speed or range, but not attacking into the Reaver. Not up a ramp at least.
Yeah, so great game. And Doc, I love you if you're watching this, but man, I've never been so happy to see one of my teammates lose, because I just love seeing Protoss build like that work.
Yeah, now we got game 3. We got the decider match.
And this is interesting because, I mean, that build it's exposed now. Doc knows it's in Nico's hand. And question is, will Nico play standard from here, or will he cheese? I think Doc, from what we saw in game 1, I think Doc is a better macro player than him, but I also think that maybe Nico, honestly, I don't know. The first game might have been skewed a little bit because it was on Sylphide, but I don't know. There's not a ton we can say, but game 1, his macro didn't look too strong into the mid games, whereas Doc's, for a tier 2 player, is quite strong.
Yeah, his macro was on point in Sylphid. But now we got Circuit Breakers, another standard map. Be curious to see what Nico pulls out, because you always got to be scared of players that can pull out one bases like that. You can't just be on autopilot like DocHoliday looked like he was doing. We had 4th and 5th hat trick going down despite knowing Goon Reaver was coming. So you got to be careful versus players like Nico. And actually, we don't have a probe going out to the natural yet. That makes me think it's going to be another one base from Nico.
Okay, yeah, it looks like he's moving the probe, starting the pylon, so it's going to be one base.
Yeah, now, DocHoliday has 9 pulled both games so far. I wonder if maybe Nico will try to 2-gate and just kind of non-stop build Zealots. Because if he can hold the ramp like you talked about in the last game, he might think that Nico's teching, and then you just show up with, 5 to 7 Zealots, and it's going to be one base production from the Zerg, and Lings can't hold that. As I say that, we have the drone going out. Of course, DocHoliday, no 9 pull this game.
Yeah, well, Circuit Breakers, it is a good Zerg map, so you don't even need to do anything cheeky. You just, have like 100 APM, you win a Zerg in this map, pretty much.
Are you a Protoss player? You sound like you're a Protoss player.
Of course
I'm getting that vibe from you.
It's true. I mean, Circuit Breakers really annoys me as a map, but it's okay. Protoss players have a lot of good maps too.
But we do have the assimilator going down for Nico. Probably going to be one base Reaver again. After the last game, if I was him, just how well it went, I don't blame him for pulling it out again, but I have a feeling that DocHoliday's response will be a bit better this time if he suspects it to be one base Reaver.
So, Nico, right off the bat, is betraying the Protoss code of not revealing how to beat those cheesy strategies, and he's offering to show Doc how to beat this. That's a big mistake. You never, once you tell one Zerg, they're going to tell all their friends, and soon those builds won't work, so. Gotta keep those things under wraps, man.
If you say so, yes, that's true. But yeah, now DocHoliday has scouted the cybernetics, and I don't know this build exactly, but it's shocking to me that we don't even have a zealot to potentially block the ramp at all. Like, he's just straight up showing Doc, like, hey, I'm going one base Reaver. Now he's gonna lose the drone. Oh, that's DocHoliday losing the drone.
Man, Doc losing those drones those last 2 games. That's unfortunate for him. Yeah, you know what? On that point, and when I've done this build, you do try to get that ramp block. So I'm not sure if just because of the scouting, Doc got a drone there earlier, or Nico delayed his zealot. But I was pretty sure that you do get that zealot on the ramp. So that does seem a bit weird to me as well.
Yeah, I'm watching this probe in the main of DocHoliday. One of the drones is quite low, trying to get a snipe off, and I like DocHoliday's third base this time on this map. When the Reaver comes, all of his production will be... Oh, is this probe? He's gonna get killed!
Oh, gets it!
Him.
Great probe, that's nice. And now he's regenning shields. He needs to get out of there. He's gonna escape with that probe, man. 2
now I know
drone
why
kills already.
DocHoliday's not in the chat. He's ashamed. Saw all these probe snipes. It's like, nah, I can't show my face in here.
It's too weak.
Yeah.
So,
and actually 2 drones in the beginning is quite a lot for Zerg. Like, that's a lot of econ.
yeah, especially the scouting drone. I mean, he could have kept that alive for much longer because you only got a zealot. You can't chase that drone down, no way. So he could have stayed in the base of Nico for such a long time and seen everything that was going down. But as it is, Nico, is getting into his Reaver tech right now. So
And
we'll
I
see
wanna
if this
point-
push is better timed than last game.
Yeah, I want to point out, last game, remember, Nico lost a lot of probes to, like, 3 Zerglings. This game, he's lost nothing. And now, look at this Reaver timing. I think the Reaver started at, like, 5:40 last game. It's starting at 5 minutes this game. This push is going to hit a lot faster. And DocHoliday, remember, he powered a lot to mute us. If he does that again, he's just going to straight up lose. He's not going to have anything to stop this. Luckily for him, I'm watching all of his production out of these 3 hatches. They are Lynx, they are Hydras, but again, it's a speed build. I mean, I'm not saying speed is not what you need. You do need that, but I just don't know if that's how you're going to kill the Reaver.
Yeah, so this attack's going to be coming out for Nico shortly. I think about 6 minutes. The Reaver is popping, and he's just waiting. There's 1 goon out and 5 zealots. So this is like a 6-unit attack and 1 Reaver. But we'll see. Maybe Nico just wants to play this where he waits, gets an extra goon or 2, and doesn't force the issue. We'll see, because all the times I've seen it played by Shoop or other ones who kind of brought it back to popularity in the CPL, it's been a lot earlier. So maybe this is a new brand that I'm just not familiar with.
Yeah, do you see this? We've got a second Reaver coming out. And we've got range building in the cybernetic core. Just started, so it's actually going to be quite a while. Range, one of the longest upgrades in the game. Don't expect this to be done until 8 minutes. So, but anyways, 2 Reavers combined with Dragoon Zealot. That's like insanely strong. Oh, and this Ling is not going to see. He knows that it's Zealot Dragoon. He can assume it's Reaver, of course, because he's scouted. But yes, still DocHoliday doesn't know exactly if this Protoss did some kind of tech switch.
Another thing as well is that Nico is waiting for that shuttle speed. So that's going to be make his micro even that much stronger. So, I mean, this army that Nico has versus what Doc has, I think Nico is going to be in a really strong position with this push. Once you get the Reavers up, then those Hydras, it's so hard to make them fight against the Zealots. And then they have to worry about the Dragoons as well. So Nico, if he pushes right now, I'm predicting definitely getting damage done at least, and possibly winning. We'll see. It looks strong right now.
Yeah, Nico's army is actually really scary, and I'm actually worried for DocHoliday. DocHoliday has a lot of units. If he survives this attack, I'm checking all of his bases. He has decent drone saturation at all three bases.
Oh no, the shuttle.
Oh, the shuttle!
Okay, loses shields on the shuttle right off the bat. It's not great, but still.
Yeah, this is a fragile build. You can't just be doing that. But now the Reavers are out. Massive hit under that group of Hydras. Actually, I don't think DocHoliday has enough.
The thing is, though, is that DocHoliday spread his Hydras really well, and now he got a lot of friendly fire damage onto his Zealots, and a lot of Reaver shots going on to only one Hydralisk, so that's a decent hold from now. We've got some more Hydras trickling in, and the Goon Zealot army is weakened, so Doc may have just bought himself enough time. We'll see. If the Reavers get entrenched here at this natural position, it will be good. But how are the Reaver shots? The second one's good. Only detonating on one Hydralisk at a time, though. So there's only going to be these Reavers here. Doc will hold on for now.
Yeah, DocHoliday, he's got 4 hatcheries. He can produce a lot, but we don't really have that much gas. He can only produce just a few Hydras at a time. But Nico's kind of all-in-ish with this attack. He's got 3 gate and Reavers. And I don't see any probes going down to build a Nexus. So if he doesn't make this work, DocHoliday's econ will just explode. We've even got a 5th hatchery going down.
Okay, these drones... Oh, the Reavers are... Okay, gets 2 drones, nice. Going into the main, although there's Hydra there, pulling back at the last second, though. Nicely done. Still has not lost any health on that shuttle, or actually...
Oh, no.
There he goes. Oh, almost loses it. 1 shot away. That's brutal. Will he lose it? Oh, no.
Yeah, now he's got to be careful. He can't just be flying around all willy-nilly like this. One more error over a group of Hydras. Those 2 Reavers will insta-die. But look at Nico's army. We've got 7 Dragoons here, plus the shuttle. And I'm trying to see what DocHoliday has. We have Hydras kind of split all over the place. Only 9 in total. That will not beat Nico's army.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's like, with these bridges, if Nico just needs to get established with the Reavers in a good position in the Goons here, and I think he will right now. So now the Reavers are going to be set down, and Doc has to micro the Hydras versus the Goons. So
yeah,
he's good now, but yeah, I don't think there's anything he can do.
Yeah, his Hydras were just too split up. He had 6 at the top left, and then he lost those 5 on the bridges. Now we have 5 Dragoons left over, plus 2 Reavers. And we have no units out for DocHoliday. And on top of it, he's lost his natural drones.
He's losing his Overlord, so he's going to get food capped here really shortly. That shuttle, though, is so low. He's flying it around. It's making me nervous, but... Okay, maybe he's going to hold on here. No, the Reaver shot's too good.
Yeah, the Reavers. Gosh, I wish they would stop loading up Scarabs so I could see how many kills these have, but they've just been absolutely MVPs. They're just killing Hydras non-stop.
And so many Overlords have gone down, by the way, too. That's huge.
Yeah, we even have this Dragoon harassing top left. Finally goes down, but I think DocHoliday is dead. He's lost his nat. Now these Reavers can literally just sit under the ramp if they want and kill infinite Hydras.
Okay, this next move for Nico is important because remember, still only on 1 base. He needs to micro correctly, but yeah, okay, actually I see there's nothing at the 3rd, so looks like Nico just gonna bulldoze Doc with this build. That's so nice from him. Yeah, there's nothing Doc can do. He's morphing another round of Hydras in his main, but he's saying haha GG and that's frustrating to lose to, man.
Yeah, DocHoliday just did not have enough units, and Nico had really good Reaver control other than the shuttle initially flying into that group of Hydras. His Reavers didn't take almost any damage like during any of the engagements, and they killed so many Hydras.
Yeah, I mean, things got really dicey with that first shuttle, but he pulled it back before it could lose any health. So, and he kept it alive. That's the stat that really mattered there, was keeping it alive. So great control from Nico. And, you know, this is frustrating for Doc on a lot of levels because I'm sure in Doc's mind he's thinking that he could beat Nico in a macro game, most likely. But Nico, with the really strong play, that Reaver style, which, you know, it's not something Zergs face a lot when they queue up on ladders, so it takes you got to be in a different mindset to defend it.
Yeah, and Nico, on the other hand, probably has a lot of experience for his DocHoliday's build, so really nice game from Nico with the 2-1 victory, and then someone linked in the chat that DocHoliday was going to smash all the tier 2 players. No, you are not DocHoliday.
Well, it's funny because Doc, that's what I thought too. Like, Doc was pretty strong for a tier 2 player, but man, couldn't hold the Reavers.